My name is Brenda Powell, and I was born at Upper Wennelt in the village about 77 years ago. And I lived with my family. We were 7 children, and we were in the farming community. My father was an original member of the Hall Committee when it first started, and they did an awful lot of fundraising because they used to have whist drives and bingos. I got involved when I was asked to join the guides, and when I became a guider, I became the representative of the Hall, and that was in about 97. So I became the chair, but before that we did quite a lot of things in the Hall. It was mainly then for the community, because then we used to have a grant of the Talybont Community Council, and then we used to have a grant of the Powys Council, which mainly kept the Hall going, so we didn't need to do so much fundraising. But we always had concerts, male voice choirs, plays. From the young farmers used to come around with plays before they went to do their shows in the Guildhall in February. We had a tryout in the hall. And we refurbished the kitchen, and, you know, we just kept things rolling. I became chair in 78 because I was the third chairman, because Mr. Doug Mason did a number of years and David Morgan did 10, 15 years. And then when I became chair, I decided we weren't going to do chair people that long, so I cut it down to 5. I said I'd do it for 5 years. And during that 5 years, the first thing I think I did was approach the lottery for funding to put in disabled toilets and refurbish the hall. We had a great lottery grant of about, and then also we started the 200 Club, which is still going today, £10 a head for each member, and I think that was a good fundraiser for the hall, because by then the grants were being reduced and, you know, we had to do more fundraising. And I also resurrected the bonfire night, which is still a massive fundraiser today, because it used to be in the school park, and then it went down to the Travellers for a while, and then it dwindled away. So we resurrected that in 2000. I think it was thanks to the Stevenses. Brian Stevens and his nephews were great help in the first bonfire we did, because they got all the wood to burn, and John Jones and Cherry did the fireworks. During 2003 we won the competition for Village of the Year, and we won the Welsh area competition, and then we went up to London to compete for the British competition, but we did not win. But it was a very successful project for the hall, and it helped the community all get together. For the Millennium, we set up a committee in 1999, and it consisted of John Jones as chairman, Mandy Williams, Sarah Osborne, Dave the Shop, I can't remember his surname, and Pauline Jean and myself. And then we met and came to a decision on what we were going to do for the Millennium. But before we could do that, we needed a lot of fundraising. So during '99, we did a lot of fundraising. We had strawberry teas, a big auction, and we had tea at Kew Park and a walk around the gardens. And we raised a lot of money for the Millennium. And then the first thing we had in the Millennium was a Sunday lunch just after the New Year. And we had a Sunday lunch and an entertainment in the hall, and the hall was packed. We had tables going across the hall, and it was absolutely full. And we had caterers to do the lunch, so the community people could all enjoy the event. And then we had, later on in the year, we had a tug-of-war across the River Cafanel down by the station, and that was well attended. And at the same time in 2000, when we would do the Millennium, we were also refurbishing the hall. And there we had an afternoon tea and a walk around the village and some carnival and some sports and things on the field. And that was absolutely packed for the afternoon tea because we had to put extra chairs into the sun parlour to get them all in. And it was a good year. And from that, we also kind of extended on different things and came up. And we also did the 200 Club. We set that up that year as well. And we started the bonfire night at the same time. So, you know, we had lots of activities during the Millennium year. So, and at the same time, we were also doing the fundraise. We had a grant to do the playing field. So we had Rally International down. The youth used to go abroad and then they'd like to come back to this country and have a weekend on their own. So they used to come down here and stay, and then we used to cater food for them while they worked on the sites, because we did the bike park and the playing field, and we put in all new children's playing stuff. And of course it's now been updated again now, so you know, we keep it all going nicely. I think the hall is very important, and since the school is closed, it is more important because it is now the middle of the community. And as long as the community helps support the hall, I think it's the mainstay in the village for the future. Well, I just hope that the community, the community supports the committee for the future, because I mean, if the community doesn't get support and fundraising, because there are no grants now, and it's very difficult to keep the hall going, because we need the support to keep it open.